My grandfather was telling me of one story that when he started driving a truck, he was a truck driver, my grandfather who gave birth to my mother. He told me that there was this man that when he leaves the factory driving, he will be on the steering. But when he gets to Mchabezi, there's a river called Mchabezi just outside town. He just jumped into the bed, sit and sleep, and these things will come and drive the truck. Even today, there are people who are doing that. That's the reason you have found people in the trucking industry. They are abusing each other like hell. You find that the company owners and the management will say, the drivers have got to exchange the truck. You can take any truck that actually is there when the other driver is off. But you find that whenever you get to the truck for that particular individual, you have got to get sick or have a swollen feet, or the truck is not drivable. Some they even have accident and die in those trucks because they are driving the trucks that has been set by Muti and that has been installed some certain spirits to actually run them other than humans. So those things do live. There was a system in the trucking logistics that was called a payloads, whereby a person will have to take a container and drop it to Johannesburg and take the other one and drop it back to Joburg. You find some people who are driving 24/7. When does this person sleep? When does he rest? Because he'll drop a container there, take another one, drop it there, he's up, he's down. Where does he sleep? You cannot drive 24/7. Which simply clarifies that they have things that drive for them. They do sleep on their beds when these things are driving. I say it, each and every land have got these things. The word goblin is a Western word and an English word that defines otikoloshi imikovu zidudwani mantindani whatever. It means that in Europe they know goblins, they create goblins, they have goblins of their own kind. They wouldn't have the word goblin defining imikovu or tigoloshi if they don't have those things there. But my big worry is the people who lie about these things. They read some books, they listen to guys, people like me speaking on television, on some social media, and they'll start to practice these things, robbing people, scamming and conning people with these stories. The purpose for having them was to send them to places like banks and wherever there was a lot of businesses that actually sold and kept a lot of money. Like if we know long back, we used to know that Indians were famous or known not to be taking their money to the banks. They're keeping their money in houses. I cannot confirm that. I've never seen them keeping their money in their houses. But these goblins were used by that time to steal the money. These things could actually get in there using their kind of magic, like the witches do, to get in people's houses when they are locked, and they get in through walls using some certain magic. It is understood that these things went out of fashion. I will explain how. The goblins, otikoloshi, zikwambo zvidoma, imikovu, zvidudwani in Venda. They actually went out of fashion for the fact that some financial institutions started to apply some electric security in their systems, in the banks. What I know of these things is that they had blood like human beings. So what happened when the banks had applied some electrical security, they become useless to those who actually owned them. And some would even get out of hand and try to show up on people, and then some people start knowing that you have a goblin. And then you'll be the enemy of your community, because they'll be knowing that during their sleep at night, you actually send those things out to terrorize them and steal their money. Now, when this thing went out of fashion, some new rituals forms and formulas were formulated. People started to apply what you call powers, having to use some deities like river goddesses. You do have river goddesses which are aligned with people's spirituality. In the river goddesses, you find them in the forms of Mamuhasho. They call it Mamuhasho, Mamlambo. They've got so many names for it, but it relates to the mermaids. So when you speak of the mermaids, people only think of the human fish mythical creature.